A little while ago, I played a game called Presentable Liberty. Videos have already gone out on the internet of this game. Many say that this game will change your life. As I played this game with graphics not better than Minecraft, I was stuck in a prison cell, with the only gameplay mechanics being some side games and a Game Boy look-alike and waiting for letters to appear. As you sit there all alone and no face in sight, you start to feel very lonely. You wait for a new letter anxiously to arrive. As I got new letters, I got excited to receive them, like from my old friend Salvador and his talks of the adventures and freedom, and Charlotte, the only other survivor at the time in the town. She gives me hope to meet her one day, and I get excited to hear from her and about her life. Mr. Smiley makes me feel a bit uncomfortable, and sorry for him or her though. And Dr. Money made me feel like I was being lied to and I couldn't trust him, as if he was trying to manipulate me. As you progress through the game, all the layers start to get more depressing and sometimes even messed up. Things start to turn for the worse. So much happens, and I am blown away by how much emotions this game caused me. Once the game was over, I felt so many emotions and I didn't know what to say. There were so many questions and I wanted answers, but was I asking the right questions? As I began to recollect what I just played, new questions started to pop into my head. I started to question the realism of this game. How did Charlotte find out about me? Why would Dr. Money let people know I exist if he wanted to keep me locked up? If he didn't want my friend Salvador to help me escape, why would he still allow his letters to come into my room? Why didn't I see anyone giving me letters through the door? Was this game more poorly made than I thought? Or is there something deeper in this game? This game is basically an existential simulator, but the simulator does not take place out in the real world. It takes place in your mind. Allow me to explain. You start off in the game with no identity, and you are in a prison cell and you have no idea why. Almost like you're in a dream and you don't know how it began. And you look outside your prison door and see the other doors around you are not prison doors themselves. Odd, isn't it? You start to realize some of this doesn't make sense, as things sometimes don't make sense in your mind and or dreams. So here it is. In this game, you're playing as someone who is dealing with a crisis in their life in the real world, and is dealing with it in their mind, possibly even in a dream. The other characters who interact with you through the letters help this theory. Each of these characters represent different parts of your mind, and are trying to help you through the crisis that you are going through. The character Charlotte is a connection to another person, someone who needs you to keep living. You need to be alive to keep her alive. A possible person in the real world who you are in love with, or someone who you do love, possibly even a family member. Salvador is your savior. Life is an adventure to be lived, and new things are there to be explored. Salvador is the one who has been somewhere you haven't, and sends you things from elsewhere. He is the part of your mind that is the driving force to keep you going. He helps you understand that there is more out there, and more to see through life. He has such a positive attitude. He is the part of your mind that tells you to keep going, look for new things, explore, search for the new things out there. Mr. Smiley is there because he was forced to. There is a desperation to him, pleading with you to be happy, as if the people who say that life isn't pointless have to believe it, or they will suffer loss. Mr. Smiley is the part of your mind that is trying to convince you to stay happy. No matter what crisis you go through, your mind will always try to keep you happy. Your mind is trying to fight back the depression. After all this, the crisis that the said main character is going through is a lot easier to understand. The main character in the real world is struggling with thoughts of suicide. This character is feeling depression weigh down on them, and begins to possibly feel as if it will control him or her. At the end of the game, everyone who has been a reason for you to continue living is dead. And Dr. Money tries to tell you to stay in your cell, to stay alive and be safe. You're told you could die on leaving. Dr. Money also mentions that everyone is dead, as if he's trying to talk you down, make you even more sad, make you more depressed. Even though Dr. Money is saying that you will die if you leave, and he wants you to live, this is the depression trying to win you over and finish you. Think of this depression as a virus. Many say that depression is like a sickness. Imagine that depression is a virus trying to cloud your mind and take over. Studies even show that depression causes weird dreams and nightmares, sometimes even hallucinations. So this whole dream would make sense. As the other three parts of your mind, adventure, love, and obligation, have died to the fight against depression, it is now up to you and your willpower to stand up to your own depression. In the real world, you are depressed, possibly because you feel like you're trapped, maybe in a situation, and the depression part of your mind tells you to stay in your bubble and get away from the bad. This is the fear of taking a risk out in the world, and maybe because the main character feels so trapped he wants to escape life. But Mr. Happy tells you to stay strong and don't lose hope. In this dream, Mr. Happy has 2 daughters who died, and Dr. Money lied to him about them being alive. He tells you that he has lost all hope, but you cannot. You listen and feel the obligation part of your mind kick in. You have a moral reason to continue in your eyes. Also in your mind, your friend Salvador dies helping you escape, and you muster up your courage and break free from this prison, an inspiration to him. And in your mind, you decide there is more to life. You feel the sense of adventure in your mind, something new, and you take a risk, and you get out of that prison cell. And finally, you feel love. You escape the prison and find Charlotte's place, where she had killed herself, just like how you thought about doing it. You feel sad that you were too late. You cared for her. She gave you hope when you had none. You loved her. Maybe not even in a romantic way, but you loved her regardless. After this, the credits roll, and your character would probably wake up from the dream, or nightmare, or whatever it is. He or she would have found the answer for what they were looking for. They gathered their strength in their mind to beat depression and decide to move on with their life. Maybe these 3 separate parts of his or her mind were representation of friends or a lover of theirs. This person has just won their fight with depression and possibly even suicide. Hey, thank you for watching, everybody. Tell me what you think of this theory and leave your own theory in the comments below. Also, if you want updates on future videos, please click that subscribe button. Also follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Also, you should really try out this game, so I'll leave a link to its download in the description, because this game is very amazing. Thank you for watching.